The best thing that any of us can do is to do whatever we feel called to do, no matter how small or insignificant seeming, to be of benefit.
I've heard different people talk about this particular time in human history and describe it as an inflection point, the next decade being critical for whether or not the human species will even survive. It's clear that we're living at a time when the Earth is drastically out of balance. What do you feel called to, and what do you think people who have some sense, mystical sense, are called to as a role to play right now at this juncture in human history?
I think we all should be informed about what's going on. But I think the best thing that any of us can do is to do whatever we feel called to do, no matter how small or insignificant seeming, to be of benefit. What could I do to be of benefit today? And we have to stop only looking at the cosmic sense of it, because meet people all the time that are just overwhelmed. Like, I want to save the world, but all the rest, let's save the world. No wonder you're miserable and overwhelmed. Now, some people aren't, they stay, but it can just be too much. But just imagine a world where all of us, of course, this is imagination, it's fantasy, but even where half of the world, 3 billion whatever people, half the world just woke up and went, even if it's just the next conversation I have, or the way that I say hello to my spouse or my whatever in the morning, or my children or something, what if I have an intention to do that in some way that might be the most beneficial that I can come up with? Like, if we just did that, just that, it would change the whole world.
Can you give me an example of that?
Yeah, I can. So my parents, I think they probably thought this kid probably needs a little something else for his next grade. So they took me in a different school, put me in this really experimental class, really experimental teacher. And he was like a bodhisattva. I mean, literally like a bodhisattva, man. Like you used to have to do about that time, had to do a speech, had to write out the speech by hand, one side of a page, as long as it could be. And I wrote my little speech out, and like is the norm, I went up there and was terrified. And I put it on the lectern, my speech, and I looked up and I looked at the class, and I just panicked. Like kid, you can do, right? Panicked. So panicked, I couldn't read anything I wrote on the page. I panicked more. I can't even see what I'm supposed to. I just look like an idiot. And I looked up, and there's Dr. Vogel, the teacher, at the back of the class, standing up, big burly guy with his hands like this, and this beatific grin that, like, I looked at him as a panicked little kid, and he looked at me like the sun shining. And what I got in that moment was there was nothing in him that was going to be moved. I could just feel from where he was coming from. If he could put voice to it, he would have said, "Kid, you have no idea how great this moment is. This is the best moment of your life, kid. Go for it, man." And I could just feel it. It literally like a sunshine went out of his chest and into mine. And I felt it physically come in, fill me up. All of a sudden, I felt his well-being. I felt the confidence. I looked at the paper. I could see the words. I was so confident. I turned it upside down so I couldn't see the words, and I just talked off the top of my head for 10 minutes. 40-something years ago, and I still reflect on that. And it still, to this day, reminds me with great regularity, like, You never know when you're going to be given that moment to somebody.
Discover on-demand videos and docuseries, explore a full schedule of daily life classes, and become part of an incredible community. At Sounds True One, we invite you inward to find your way your way.